This is Tom Fox. I live in the Texas Hill Country. On Friday, July 4th, Kirk County saw the worst flooding it has ever seen. At this point, as I'm recording this podcast, nearly 70 people have been found dead, and there are many, many more people still missing. I'm going to ask you to please consider a donation to the Hill Country Flood Relief Fund. I've listed it in the show notes. I know it's a little bit unusual to make this request, but I can't tell you the tragedy that has unfolded in my home county over the 4th of July weekend. Thank you for your consideration. And now, on to the Daily Compliance News. The Daily Compliance News for July 28, 2025. The Where is Grasshopper When You Need Him edition. And we begin with that story from the Financial Times. Remember Kung Fu, the TV show, and Grasshopper, or Weed Hopper, as he was also known? Well, he came from China's Shaolin Temple. And it turns out that the head of the temple, who is credited with transforming Shaolin Temple into a global brand over the past 2 decades, has been placed under investigation for alleged criminal offenses, including corruption and embezzlement. The CEO, Monk, has been suspended from his post and placed under joint investigation for multiple departments in China. The news agency added that he was suspected of having improper relationships with multiple women and fathering at least one illegitimate child. I wonder what Coldplay would say about all of that. So, where is Grasshopper when you need him? Now, a very interesting story from Deadline, who I believe it's a first-time contributor to the Daily Compliance News, although perhaps they have contributed over the past 7 or 8 years. And that is Elizabeth Warren says the Skydance-Paramount merger approval must be investigated for any criminal behavior. She reacted to the FCC approval by raising questions of whether the green light was the result of corporate bribery of Donald Trump. In a statement, Warren said bribery is illegal no matter who is president. Yes, even if President Trump is president. It sure looks like that Skydance and Paramount paid $36 million to Donald Trump for this merger. He's even bragged about this crooked-looking deal. Warren has been ringing the alarm bell for months, launching a Senate investigation, and she believes the merger must be investigated for any criminal behavior. I sure hope those lawyers or those boards have some very good indemnities and lawyers. They may need it under the next administration. Next up, 2 stories from the New York Times. First is that EU reports it is cutting aid to Ukraine over corruption concerns. President Zelensky's anti-corruption policies have provoked the first anti-government protests since the Russian invasion, and the EU said on Friday it would withhold 1.5 billion euros from an overall 4.5 billion euro fund for the disbursement into Ukraine. And finally, also from the New York Times, citing new rules, Meta says it will end political ads in the EU. So I guess if you can't comply, you can't comply and you can't do business. Sure seems odd that Meta would go this direction, but said it would end political advertisements over its platform in the latest turn of the regulatory screw by and against the U.S. tech giants by the EU. So good luck, Meta, going forward. We hardly knew ye. Over the July 4th weekend, we had perhaps the worst tragedy to ever hit my home county in its history over this weekend. And myself and my family are fine, but multiple others who lost loved ones, lost family members, are obviously not fine. So if you can find your way to help with any donation, I would greatly appreciate it. This is Tom Fox. Thank you very much. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.